Thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with ChrisChamasiros. I talk about politics, sports, and entertainment to keep you well rounded. What's going on around the world? If you don't like hearing the truth, definitely don't tune into this channel. So let's get started today. So, the new lie that's being told by the media, Charlie Kirk's team, the doctors, everybody involved is that Charlie Kirk was the man of steel. It was such a miracle that this 30-06 bullet didn't exit his neck to hit somebody else. You know why that didn't happen? Because that's not the bullet that was used. I don't know if you ever fired one of these weapons, but if Charlie Kirk got hit with that type of weapon, I'm not trying to be mean or cruel. His head would have been rolling about 100 yards away from his body. It just, at this point, they must really just think we're all just such complete idiots. They're doing this right in front of your face. They pulled this maneuver off right in front of your face. And now, to cover the assassination on who really did it and who was involved, they're trying to make you believe that Charlie Kirk, there was no exit wound when this round hit him in the neck. You want to know why? Because the weapon that was used, that's not the weapon that was used. The weapon that the media and everybody's claiming that was used, the 306, if Charlie Kirk was hit like that again, there would be no head on his shoulders. That's not the weapon that was used in this assassination. What was probably used was like a pen gun, one of these literally a CIA type of gun where you could fire it, with a pen in your sleeve, a very small caliber weapon. That's why there was no exit wound on Charlie Kirk. And they're going to pass this off to all the Christian conservative MAGAs and right wingers and Republicans as God performed a miracle. And you should believe this miracle no matter what, because God intervened. Well, if God intervened, how come he just didn't save Charlie's life? This is all just it's just so ridiculous. It's not even funny anymore. Charlie Kirk, ally, claims miracle stopped bullet killing anyone else. Andrew Colvett claims to have spoken to a surgeon that tried to save Mr. Kirk's life and posts on social media to discuss the apparent lack of exit wound. I urge anybody to go, if you don't have your own weapon, to go to the gun range and rent this weapon and fire it and see what it does to the target. And you tell me if you think this is possible. It's not possible at all. The velocity on that bullet is so strong that even if it didn't hit Charlie Kirk for the most part, if it even came close, there'd be like a tear in his neck for the most part. Never mind if it actually hit. If it actually hit, I've already said what I've said. I'm not going to keep saying. I don't mean to be grotesque or not have empathy for Charlie Kirk's life, because I am totally, this is one of the worst things that I've ever seen in my life out in the open in front of his two children. It's absolutely disgusting. The producer of Charlie Kirk's podcast has claimed that a miracle stopped more people being killed by the bullet that hit the right-wing influencer. Oh, you know what? And that's a way just to stop the story. Oh, Charlie, how dare you insult Charlie like that? He saved people even in death. He stopped the bullet. His bones were so strong, they were made of steel. They stopped the bullet. It's like they're writing a bad movie script and it's as bad as it gets. Or if you believe in Marvel comic books, because this is what would happen in Marvel comic to the actual Superman, he would get hit with it, pull it out of his neck, and then eat it. That's what they're basically trying to tell you here. Andrew Colvett claimed to have spoken to a surgeon that tried to save Mr. Kirk's life and posted on social media to discuss the apparent lack of exit wound. A prominent right wing figure in the U.S., Mr. Kirk was a staunch ally of President Donald Trump and was known for his conservative viewpoints on abortion, religion, and LGBT issues. The 31-year-old was shot dead while speaking at a university event in Utah last week. Mr. Trump and other public figures are expected to be in Arizona on Sunday for a memorial service for Mr. Kirk, which is expected to draw 100,000 people. I don't believe for a minute that see, I'm not letting this kid off the hook because in order for them to trick you, the CIA, Mossad, whatever, you have to be a willing participant. You have to share the same views and vengeance as wanting Mr. Kirk dead as they do. So I'm not letting him off the hook because if he didn't have these extreme views, he wouldn't have been in this situation. I don't believe for a second that this kid did what he did. I just think he's the fall guy. Jack Ruby, John FK, 9/11. You see where I'm going. They always have to have a cover story. Mr. Colvett discussed what he said was a lack of exit wound from the bullet, despite it being a high powered, high velocity round. Mr. Colvett included what he said were quotes from a surgeon who operated on Mr. Kirk. It was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. Mr. Colvett quoted the surgeon as saying, his bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have just gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him, too. Wow. So they claim that Charlie Kirk's bone density was just so dense and so impressive from all the vitamins and training over the years that his magnificent neck and body frame built out of steel is what stopped this high velocity round from hurting other people. That's what they want you to believe. No, more like that wasn't the round that killed Charlie Kirk. It was probably a small caliber bullet that killed Charlie Kirk. But hey, just pull it off in front of your eyes and everybody will be in on it. The surgeon, Charlie Kirk's team was in on this. The closest people around Charlie Kirk betrayed him. They're all actors. This is all acting in a horror movie. That's what this is. Mr. Colvett said what happened was remarkable and miraculous. Yeah, I bet. I think the fatal mistake that Charlie Kirk made in his life was getting involved with Israel, certain donors who were giving him money to start Turning Point USA. And then Charlie Kirk, he started to question everything. He started to question October 7th. He heard that Benjamin Netanyahu let the defenses down, so that would happen intentionally. Charlie Kirk also came out and said that big Jewish donors in America have a lot of explaining to do because he knows for a fact that they're behind mass illegal immigration, that they're behind all of these radical left wing policies. And he was calling them out. And Charlie Kirk was called to an intervention with Bill Ackman at his house to stop talking like this. He was warned, he was told. He was also trying to be bought by Benjamin Netanyahu for $150 million. And he wasn't taking the bait, he wasn't going for it. And then he ends up dead. And then we're all supposed to believe that Charlie Kirk's neck was made out of steel and it stopped a 30-06 bullet from going through. And even in death, Charlie Kirk was a hero. I urge all of you, if you don't have that weapon, go rent it, go to the range, shoot the weapon from the distance, and tell me what you think. Because I know exactly what would happen if he got hit with that type of weapon. And it wouldn't have been pretty. Things would have been all over the place. That's all. I'm going to leave it like that. These videos are making the rounds on social media. And the videos are the videos because this actually happened. These hand signals were being made when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. The first thing that the individuals around him did was remove the camera, and there was a trap door and all this. We know exactly what it is and what it was. Well, let's watch this video. Small caliber weapon. That's why there was no exit wound. Oh, gee, what's that? boom, and walk away and leave because he knows exactly what he did. Yeah, I'm only laughing because it's right in front of your face, but you'll just refuse to acknowledge it or accept it. Oh yeah, that's normal. That's normal movement. That's really normal movement for somebody for a loud gunshot, right? It's like so tactical. It's very, very tactical. That's exactly what it is. It's very he knows he did it, and it's a very tactical movement, and it's the same old story. Oh, let me guess. All these, all these signals, they're really nothing. They're just scratching their face, right? His movement, the way he moves back, and he's so calm and so calculated. It's just think what you want. I know what I'll be called, but I'm willing to be called that to tell the truth. There you go. Here's when the bullet left the weapon. Small caliber bullet from close distance. That's why there was no exit wound. And they still want you to believe that this man is the same as this man. Wow. They must really think we're all dumb, huh? Here's the distraction guy that just happens to be the distraction guy in all these horrific events. Go figure. I mean, I wonder how much they pay him to fall down and jump around and roll around on the floor to distract everybody from what's really going on. He must have got himself into some type of trouble with law enforcement. Now he's trying to work off his beef so, he doesn't go to prison. Some people will call it a palm, you know what, a small caliber. It's a James Bond type of weapon. That's what they used to assassinate Charlie Kirk. That's what it was. Small caliber round. That's why there's no exit wound. And some people will try to say that this guy in the white shirt actually did it. Me personally, I just think they're filming it because they get off on it and they want to have video. Oh yeah, let me have a good video of Charlie Kirk's neck. Let me stand behind Charlie and let's film his neck all day. Yeah, it seems like a smart idea. I wonder who these three guys really work for. Gee, let me take a guess. 1, 2, 3. I'm sure you could guess. This is the movement that is the craziest right here. When you watch this guy, right? Watch him move. Watch him move. He like that weird technical, like he knew exactly the next point to get to. He knew because it was planned. That's why. That is not a normal reaction. A normal reaction is to duck, cover, get on the ground. He knew the next point that he needed to get to because this was planned. And then this bizarre devil hand gesture to the sky. Right? I'm really. What does that mean? Huh? Where are we going with this? We all know what the hand gesture means. Then Charlie Kirk's wife came out and said that she met Charlie in Israel. Go figure, of all places. What a coincidence. And then Charlie Kirk's wife also said that she doesn't believe in coincidence. Neither do I. Neither do I. Sounds like a handler to me, but hey, we're all entitled to our opinion. There's one thing I can't stand about Republicans and conservatives. It's like when an idiot like Bill Maher comes out and he has to say the obvious because he's afraid of losing his job or he has to pay his bills like the rest of us. He can't act like Jimmy Kimmel and just be a complete idiot because that might cost him his money. So Bill Maher will come out and say the obvious, and Republicans and conservatives will just eat it up. Oh, Bill Maher, he's a good guy. He's in the center. He's like Chris Cuomo, another murdering scumbag who the right can sit down and talk to. And then leave it to Bill Maher to come up with the greatest excuse of all for leftist Democrats, murderous, out of control, violent ways. On his show, he says, oh, the assassin, he wasn't left or right. He just really needed to be in a mental institution. Well, that's pretty convenient, Bill. That's wow. That took a lot of planning, huh? You know, planting those seeds in your audience and your viewers. Oh, the assassin, Tyler Robinson, he wasn't left or right. No, he wasn't from either party. No, Bill, he was from your party. And he agreed with all the principles of the Democratic Party. And 40-50% of your party believes in violence when it comes to political issues. And I just can't stand how conservatives, Republicans, conservative podcasters, they eat this crap up from Bill Maher. No, Bill Maher, he's just smart enough to hide his evilness. He moves in a different type of way. But don't fool yourself for a minute. He agrees with all Democratic talking points, no matter how hard he tries to seem like he's a guy in the middle. There's nothing, he's a left-wing extremist, just like the rest of them. Let's jump into this video.
I know why you're happy tonight. I'm still on. Oh, I tell you. Man, talk show hosts are going down like blockbusters in the 90s. I mean, well, I guess you all heard Jimmy Kimmel, my friend, my compatriot. He's canned by ABC for comment.
Isn't the old saying, show me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are? You think that Bill Maher doesn't agree with Jimmy Kimmel? Of course he does. He just has to say it in a different type of way.
He made about Charlie Kirk's assassin the day right after the FCC guy came out, head of the FCC, said he's going to revoke ABC's license. Let me just tell you something. I am not intimidated by the FCC, and if President Trump is watching, I have one thing to say to you. Have you lost weight? You look terrific.
Wow, that was so witty. Bill Maher, like when he was a kid and even now, he's the type of little weasel where he just thinks he's so much smarter than you. And since he's not a real man with his little woman hands, you know, he tries to always insult people with his intellect because he thinks he's intellectually superior to everybody else. He's a worm. He's a coward. He's a typical lefty. That's what he is. And trust me, he's violent, but he's not. He's such a little coward that he admires the democratic violence from a distance.
No, that's not me and never will be. And we're gonna get to all of it. But I think life is fucking weird. It was 24 years to the day that I made comments on ABC that got me canceled from that network, and Jimmy Kimmel took my slot. Did you know that? At Politically Incorrect? Oh, yes, I got canceled before cancel even had a culture.
Oh, please.
So the headline.
Democrats, they're always the real victims, not Charlie Kirk's assassination in front of his children. Bill Maher's the real victim.
Yeah, this is on my wall from the Variety. White House keeps heat on ABC's Maher. This shit ain't new. It's worse. We'll get to that. But, you know, ABC, they are steady. ABC stands for always be caving. So, Jimmy?
Really? Is that what it means? They're totally out of control. They're the most hateful network on TV 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Maybe they just didn't like you.
Jimmy, pal, I am with you. I support you. And on the bright side, you don't have to pretend anymore that you like Disneyland. That was always a great part of it for me when I got my ass canned over there. But I mean, this intimidation on the right is just so hypocritical. I mean, everyone is scared now, and they're all.
The intimidation on the right. You know what's funny? This moron, he's so superior mentally, but he can't figure it out. You could get on TV and say, I hate President Trump. I hate conservatives. I hate Republicans. Your party actually comes out. Alexandria Cortez, Jasmine Crockett, Joe Biden, Ilhan Omar, Maxine Waters. Your party comes out and tells its followers, punch Republicans in the face, get bloody, take it to the streets. That's inciting violence. That's not free speech. And then they also tell them, commit murders if you have to. And when those murders get committed, guess what? Oh, it's free speech. But Bill Maher, he's really a guy that you could sit down with and have a conversation if you're on the right. Right.
Trying to kowtow. Good Morning America is now changing its name to Good Morning America, even the scum who didn't vote for Trump.
Yeah, that was witty.
I mean, listen to this. Next year, the Golden Bachelor is Rudy Giuliani. I mean, no, I'm telling you, everybody's scared. Wolf Blitzer is broadcasting live from the capitulation room. And the FCC says they're going to go after maybe next the View. They got a new show lined up. It's going to be great. It's called Morning Wood with James Wood.
Yeah, you would be thinking about Wood all the time, 24 hours a day. You mean the menopause posse, the View? Yeah. Bunch of open racists who are openly racist and call for Democrats to attack Republicans all the time.
But I gotta say, and I'm friendly with the ladies on the View, but they didn't say anything about this week. Nothing.
Yeah, their silence speaks volume because they agree with Charlie Kirk being assassinated. That's why, Bill. But hey, that would mean you'd actually have a brain instead of being the moron that you actually are.
You know, because it's never been their thing to weigh in on the issues.
Yeah, right, Bill.
It's just, it's just.
Bill, so why don't you call them out about their silence? How come you don't say that you're just showing, you're signaling that you agree with this? How come you don't call them out, Bill? Because you're a coward and a weasel. That's why, Bill.
It's just an upbeat party show. That's why they hired people named Joy and Sonny and Whoopi. But, you know, girls, let me go out strong, okay? It won't kill you. I promise. It's happened to me, and I may go out after this show. We don't know. We don't know. And, you know, Jimmy, look, I don't think what he said was exactly right. I don't. We don't agree on that. He didn't lose his job for it. He said the MAGA crowd was trying to characterize the assassin as anything but one of them because the 22-year-old kid, his family was MAGA. As if a 22-year-old with a trans girlfriend never rebelled against their family.
Here's the big part that you're conveniently leaving out, Bill. The family already came out and said that their son is a left-wing extremist, but hey, you wouldn't want to say that.
I mean, but was he on the left? I don't know that either. And I hate to do this. I'm tipping the end of the show, which I work so hard on to keep a secret from the rest of the show.
Was the shooter on the left? Well, his parents, you know, the mother that birthed him, came out and said that their son was a left-wing extremist and got radicalized in college. But let's keep denying it, Bill.
But it's too relevant. What I'm talking about at the end, I'm going to have to say now, which is that it is a fool's errand to try to say that these nuts who do these things are any team. Jimmy's wrong, I think, to put him in one team. But, you know, look at what this guy is doing. I mean, Jimmy has every right to be wrong, but look at this guy. He was doing porn video games with furries. He was on a game called Furry Shades of Gay.
Well, maybe you don't pay attention to your own party, Bill, because about 30% of the Democratic Party, this is what they're into, Bill. But hey, let's full denial, just full Joe Biden type denial, right, Bill?
Hey,
let's make a joke out of it.
This kid is in his basement with VR goggles on, getting virtually ass-fucked by a cartoon wombat? And you're going to put politics into this?
Oh, it wasn't politically motivated, Bill. Then why would he murder Charlie Kirk? If it wasn't politically motivated, then what was it, Bill? What was it? The kid didn't like the way that Charlie Kirk spoke, calling out trans, all types of things. Obviously, Charlie Kirk is on the right. And if you oppose the right, 99.9% of the time, you're on the left. But hey, let's go into full denial mode, Bill. Great job. What a spin. Now the assassin, he wasn't in either party. See, this is like typical liberal behavior where nobody's wrong. Nothing. Everything's a disease. Don't take responsibility for your actions. Don't take accountability. It's always somebody else, or when you finally do have to take responsibility. Oh, it really wasn't that. It was something else. He didn't mean it like that. No, it wasn't part of the Democratic Party. No, Bill.
This kid doesn't belong in either party. He belongs
Oh,
in a
here we go.
straitjacket.
Here we go.
He's an outpatient who should not be out.
What a piece of garbage, huh? What a piece of garbage. Now he wasn't part of the Democratic Party. Now he wasn't a woke liberal. Now he wasn't a left-wing extremist. But I know one thing, if the role was reversed, it would be MAGA, 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 MAGA all day long, and right-wing extremism and violence. But hey, one of theirs assassinates somebody. Oh, he's not in our party. Matter of fact, he's in the Republican Party. Oh, that got disproven. Now he's not in any party. Bill Maher is the typical piece of garbage leftist liberal who doesn't have a decent bone in his entire body. And just because his delivery is a little bit nicer and smoother with a joke and a smile, he's just as evil as the rest of them. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasiros.